Monica was my oldest sister. We were 10 years apart. Monica was always a caring, loving, amazing person.
Monica and I were very close, and we absolutely loved each other, but we had a lot more fights.
Every time I used to think of her, it was her singing with a microphone, with her thumb as the microphone. And she always sang Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog, Joy of the World by Three Dog Night.
Monica could sing. I definitely cannot, but we would do the unicorn song and had a dance with it, and we would all be up there dancing, and we did it probably every time we went to the Harp and Fiddle. We did that dance no matter who was up there. She was just sad and depressed. If you asked most people about her, they would say nothing but wonderful things. And if you asked her about herself, I don't think that she would have said one nice thing. She just had a pain in the pit of her stomach for so long. She just couldn't live with anymore.
She was just sitting there kind of with like a really just fake smile. And she was someone who always smiled from the inside. And, you know, looking back now, like I can always see that not being a true smile. She gave me such a big hug, and I like started pulling away, and then it was just odd. And I just wish I would have hugged her a little bit longer and not pulled away and told her how much she meant to me. I had called Monica several times. I couldn't get her phone. It just kept going directly to voicemail. Then my mom called and said that they found a note. And I just remember like pulling over and getting out of the car and just feeling like I was going to be sick. So I just started driving through every hotel parking lot between my house and Washington. And then I got there and we just started calling hotels. My mom said she would have gone towards water because she wants to see the water. She loves the water. That's her happy place. And Erie was the closest place with a beach that we could think of. And I called a few hotels, and one I called, and they said, we can't give you any information on guests. And I said, but this is an emergency. I'm looking for my sister, Monica. And they said, we can't give you any information on guests. And so I hung up and they called the police. And the police then called me back and said that they were at the hotel that I called and that they found her. And she had aspirated. It was a 5-page note that she spent most of her time making us feel better, try to feel better about her leaving us and saying that it wasn't our fault and she was lucky to have us for a posse. That's what she said. And it didn't really say why. And she said her favorite things: the beach, the smell of French toast, or Gia's laugh. And none of those could make her feel any better. And they just didn't. She just was sad. Knowing that somebody died, thinking that they weren't important enough.
it rips your heart out to make you feel that you ever made somebody, could have made somebody, or contributed to somebody feeling like that. And I know that she knows that I loved her. And I know that, but I know that there's something in her mind that didn't let her hold on to that.
You know, people have said, aren't you mad? And what was wrong? And that kind of thing. And it always leaves me with the impression that that's all that people think about is the end of her life. And there was so much wonderful and beautiful and kind and caring and loving before that ending. And it's so hard to think that that's just how that her life is reduced to her death.
I want Monica to be remembered for the caring teacher that she was, the kind of teacher that I wish my daughter will have. I hope my daughter will have at some point in her life, somebody who just makes you want to learn. I want her to be remembered for the girl who was always singing into her thumb, like Molly said, who always wrote the most heartfelt cards to everyone, who bought the perfect gift, who just made you feel important.
I would hope that people would remember Monica's beautiful smile, her wonderful personality, the fact that she would give anybody absolutely anything that they would ever need, that she was a good friend, and that she tried to make a difference in every single corner of her world. I think she did, everything she could on a daily basis to make her world a better place. And I hope that, she's doesn't live in people's heads as the girl who was, who killed herself. Because she was so much more than that.